Hey guys, as mentioned in my previous video, here's a list of both exotic weapons and armor being converted from Year 1 to Year 2. Also among the list are two brand new exotic pieces of armor that will be available in this December update coming next month. First up is weapons, and by popular demand, the Mida Multitool is making a return. For those who weren't there for Year 1, the Mida Multitool is a fan favorite that flew under the radar but slowly gained popularity. Great weapon, and I'm very glad to see it return. No Land Beyond is next, and it's kind of a question due to its semi-popularity around the community, and its main use is sort of a troll weapon, at least for most. Bungie has said they were going to add some new goodies to each of the few exotics that are coming out, so this is one that I would like to see get that treatment when it releases. The Auto Rifle Hardlight is the final exotic primary to be re-released, and this is hands down one of my favorites. The Year 1 version of this weapon was really good and fun to use in Crucible after 2.0 released, and it brought autos back, so I'm kind of excited to be able to get my hands on it once again. The first and only special weapon to be converted is the Plan C. This fusion rifle was one of the overall better ones in Year 1 and will be great to see back in the rotation. Though with the upcoming changes to fusion rifles, it's a mystery to see how well it's going to perform. For heavy weapons, I was somewhat perplexed due to the choices that they made. First up is Super Good Advice, which had its moments of usefulness in Year 1, but besides the Oversoul and Crota, there wasn't much more use for a very inaccurate gun that constantly returns those missed shots back. It's a great concept, but I would like to see more of an upgrade to this weapon, especially with the usefulness of machine guns rising since the Taken King release. Last for heavy weapons is the Dragon's Breath. Definitely a good launcher, but with the Gjallarhorn wreaking havoc in Year 1, there was really no need for this weapon, at least for most players. I do feel like it needs a Grenades and Horseshoes or a tracking ability kind of perk before this is seen more often, but it will still do good in solar burn scenarios or for some crowd control. Now let's go ahead and move on to armor. Returning for Warlocks are the Nothing Manacles. If you played much of Destiny in Year 1, these beauties were surely on the rise for their use and by creating the Gjallarhorn grenades, which proved to be insanely deadly. Apotheosis Veil is also making a return. While a good helmet with a lot of opportunity to return health to the user, this could be very useful in both PvP and PvE if used correctly, of course. Also included for Warlocks was the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, which did make an appearance already by Xur, so I'm not really going to cover that one because it was available a few weeks ago. Titans are next, and we're going to start with the Peregrine Greaves. While it is nice to see some boot exotics make a return, these are very rarely going to find a use with Sunbreakers wreaking havoc and not many people shoulder charging these days, let alone doing it in air. Here's hoping some new additions are in store. Titans will also be pleased to hear the Armamentarium is making a return to Destiny. This was hands down one of the most used exotics in Year 1, with Titans being able to not only carry an extra grenade, but also more heavy ammo. While it may be difficult to put some exotics down, these are a must-have. Finally, before moving on, we're going to look at the Hunter's exotics that are moving to Year 2. The Radiant Dance Machines are first. While an interesting exotic to bring up, these were a questionable choice with many situations not really taking advantage of the exotic perk to move faster while aiming. These will probably see more PvP value in Year 2, but for PvE I wouldn't use my exotic slot for these. Acleophage Symbiote was another fan favorite that was hoped to make a return, and this is one that will give a nice boost to those Golden Gun users. While the Celestial Nighthawk is the PvE choice for Golden Gun, the Acleophage Symbiote is the PvP helmet you want. An extra Golden Gun shot can help immensely, especially due to the fact that sometimes one shot won't take out a Sunbreaker with max armor. Finally, we have probably the most requested Hunter exotic, the Bones of Ao, or the Ao Jordans as they've been nicknamed. These beauties were a great addition when House of Wolves dropped, but most didn't have enough time to spend before Year 2 came and these were tossed aside. The extra jump can help in many scenarios, and these will be used fairly often in modes like Rift or for those run and gun guardians. With all these old exotics finally being up to speed, now it's time to move on to some new exotics coming next month. Sadly, Warlocks, I am truly sorry, there are no new exotics, at least announced for the time being. There are still a few missing exotics floating around in Mystery, including some boots for the Warlocks called the Transversive Steps, but no word has come if these will be released, so for the time being, I apologize for the lack of new exotics. For Titans, a new chest piece has been revealed, or sort of. The Twilight Garrison is a new piece of exotic chest armor. Its exotic perk is Tactical Air Support, which, upon double tapping the crouch button in air, will cause you to evade, in whichever direction is being held, of course. These will provide something that the Titans need, which is the ability to, well, be a bit more nimble. Now, I did say sort of, because an early glitch actually allowed some players to receive this piece from engrams found across the Destiny universe. Footage is available of the perk being used, which I will link in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. Hunters will also receive a new chest piece titled the ATS-8 Tarantella. This exotic will benefit the Blade Dancers in the Destiny world with its signature perk, the Tarantella, which will reduce incoming arc damage from Minions of the Darkness and cause Arc Blade and Arc Grenades to recharge at a faster rate. Along with the Twilight Garrison, the ATS-8 has already been received in-game by one known player, at least for the time being. Now, while these two new additions are great, there's still no word on the other new Year 2 exotics that have yet to make an appearance. For those, I will have a new video up tomorrow covering what will be released in Destiny, hopefully soon. But for the time being, that'll about do it here, Guardians. Are there any other exotics you wish were making a Year 2 comeback? Let me know in the comments, and as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Destiny content.